Welcome back to The Watchers on the Couch. Today we're discussing episode 7 of season 5, The Gift. I'm Tim Pickerel.
I'm Sarah Hedrick.
I'm Mike Daffron.
Well, okay. I think I'm starting to become okay with the Faith Militant storyline. Because there's some stuff that actually happened with it this time.
Yeah, and now that bitch Cersei, yeah, she's getting locked up, what?
I like how she visits Marjorie and she's like, doing her little, this is me gloating over you all passive-aggressively and stuff like that. And she looks so pleased with herself as she's walking down to meet with the High Sparrow. Mm-hmm. And then, boom, womp womp.
Oh, look at my face. It's last day before you die. I freaking hope not. I hope she just dies. Gone. Goodbye.
We'll see what happens, but he was serious. I don't think she took him seriously about what he wanted to do.
Well, I think she thought he was corrupt, like her,
Right.
And she was just going along with it. So
it's like he timed it right. He waited to get her in there, and then sprung the jaws on the trap.
yeah,
She thought that she had him in the palm of her hand.
Right.
Then she looks down at her hand and she just sees a giant shit.
it wasn't Tyrion shit.
So what if that's all they delivered to Cersei? It's like, we couldn't find his head, but he left this trail of shit. It's going from here to Dorne. So. Not Dorne.
Marine.
Yeah, Marine.
Who follows it?
I don't know.
Some random guy.
Some random guys.
Comes right behind Tyrion as he, says, "I'm the gift." Like,
I found you!
I've been looking all over you.
You're the guy that left that shit everywhere. No, I'm curious how long the High Sparrow knew. Like, did Lancel confess everything as soon as it happened, or was it
That's what I was thinking, because it definitely seems like he knew beforehand, because he said, "Well, I'm thinking he knew all along."
Yeah,
and he was maybe using her. I don't know.
Just playing a con. That doesn't seem very.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't seem very holy at all.
No, but it just seemed that way because of what he was saying, as far as that he came to him. Brother Lancel came to him, and it seemed like, I guess, a while before she even approached him.
Right.
But that doesn't mean, but he did say, he just broke down more and more and more. So who knows when he did say it? But I would like to think that he said a long time ago. And then that does mean the High Sparrow is a little corrupt.
Because he was biding his time, waiting for the opportune moment. It's like, okay, we're going to see what we can get from the crown in order to arm ourselves, and then...
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
But it kind of makes me wonder. I mean, Littlefinger talked to the Queen of Thorns and basically said, "I have a gift for you. It's a young man."
Because that's what I thought.
Yeah, so how did Littlefinger give Lancel to the High Sparrow? Do you guys? I mean, does that make any sense to you guys, or did I miss something?
I don't know.
Well, who knows? Maybe Brother Lancel didn't say anything until just now. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Littlefinger said something to the High Sparrow, and then the High Sparrow questioned him about it, and he finally,
Could be.
I might need to go back and watch.
Everything?
I might need to go back and watch the first episode of this season when Lancel shows up for the first time and is talking to Cersei, because I don't remember if he mentioned anything about their little thing going on. So it's entirely possible. Because the only other thing I can think of is that Baelish was talking about somebody else.
Because we don't know. He just said, "I have a man for you," or So.
Yeah, the same thing I gave Cersei. Yeah, a young man.
But who else could it be, really?
Right.
Well, he does run brothels, so maybe he's just,
hey, there's still a guy.
I got a man for you, I know you're a little old, and it's probably been a while, but I got a young man who will do anything for money, so... And his name's Mike Daffron.
The real
and
Mike
he likes
Daffron.
you, Lady Olenna.
The real Mike Daffron.
The real Mike Daffron.
We have to. Not every Mike Daffron on the Onyx Edge Podcast Network may be genuine. We'll just say that.
I'm the real Mike Daffron. All right. Or am I?
Real underwear model.
Dun, 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 dun.
Faceless Daffron.
Jeez.
As long as I still have my cock. So, yeah, that was at the end that she got locked up.
All right.
So, what else goes on?
Can we bring back to the beginning?
Sure.
All right. Start at Castle Black. John's off with, what's his name? Tormund? Is that right?
Yeah, Tormund. And I guess
He's
Ed
gonna go.
is going as well.
Yeah. They're going to go get the rest of the crew.
Find the rest of the wildlings. And Alistair Thorne is, I find this to be reckless. That's my Alistair Thorne impersonation. It sounds nothing like
terrible.
All you gotta do is go. He just shits all over everything.
It's like
Sounds more accurate.
you sound a lot like Stan Marsh's inner monologue.
Hot.
Adam Sandler's
Yeah.
coming to the theater. You haven't seen that episode of South Park, have you?
I'm sure I haven't.
Okay.
I don't know.
She doesn't see a lot of things that we talk about, if you've noticed, that are not Game of Thrones
sheltered.
related.
I haven't seen all your dick and fart movies, all right?
Yes.
I didn't want to say it.
So, yeah, John's leaving, or John's left. He's no longer there.
Yeah.
He gone.
Jon Snow has left the castle.
Yep.
And
Sam gives him dragon glass, hoping that he won't have to use it, but maybe a little foreshadowing there.
maybe.
I'm really hoping it's just regular glass, and he just wanted to be nice and give him some confidence. No, it's dragon glass.
It's dragon glass. No, turns out the dragon glass was inside me all along.
Oh my god.
Then he runs into White Walker and stabs it. Does nothing.
All I had to do was believe.
Damn you, Sam!
Wow.
I got one over on him.
And poor Sam, he's having a little rough run.
Yeah, so Aemon dies. Maester Aemon.
Yeah.
Of old age.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a first.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
So people actually die of old age sometimes.
But Sam himself almost died by getting his ass kicked. I thought he was going to die. I'm like, no.
Yeah. I thought there was going to be another rape scene.
That's
You know?
exactly. Yeah, when we watched the episode, Sarah hits me in the leg as that scene's going on. I was like, really? She didn't say anything, but it's like, really, they're going to do another one right after? And it's like, I thought the same thing. And
Yeah.
then,
I was like, man, please don't rape Sam.
Samsa.
But he did find some courage, finally, I guess.
The courage was in me all along.
And it did turn out well for him after.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really
was
the
such
most awkward sex scene I might have ever seen in history.
I thought it was sweet.
Well, what else kind
Like,
of...
oh man, oh man.
It's like, well, what were you expecting? All of a sudden, Sam busts out of his shirt like he's Superman. It's like, this is my moment. I've been waiting.
I was just waiting for her to get off and be like, that's enough.
I'm Sam.
Maybe another day.
I'm Sam the Slayer, and I'm going to slay that vagina. That's what Mike was expecting to happen.
I know.
But apparently, Sam's
I slay all the broads in the brothels. That's why I call my wiener the broadsword.
Oh.
Can I use a drop at the end of the episode that actually happens in the episode?
But yeah, he finally got some. Good for him.
Yeah,
That is cool.
But he broke his vow.
he did. But
Yeah, well.
he also,
John and Aemon are gone. So now it's just like, okay, well, now Castle Black's going to go completely to shit. So we've got people who are actively trying to rape people now because John's gone. And
Well, luckily, Sam has the wolf.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ghost is
So that
still
makes a
there.
big difference.
So we
Like,
see-
that's
well-
huge for at least him
I always...
until someone kills a wolf.
Yeah, that's exactly
Right.
what I'm thinking. I'm always worried about the wolves now.
Well, there's
The
only one
Ghost.
left, isn't there?
There's
It's Ghost, and then
Ghost and there's Summer.
Summer's still
Yeah, Summer's still around.
okay.
And then Rickon's off with his wolf, Shaggy Dog or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And then Arya's wolf is technically still out there somewhere. She just drives her off.
Yeah, because she threw rocks at him and made him go away.
Nymeria is still out there, or whatever the name was.
That's amazing that you can remember all those names.
Well, I've read the books, so they're a little more ingrained. Yeah. And in the books, here's going to be another spoiler alert. Arya has somewhat wolf dreams as well. So when she dreams, she is in the head of...
Thanks for ruining the whole fucking show.
You're welcome.
I don't want to watch ever again. You're in my favorite storyline besides Bran.
Well, Bran, they cut that part out. Like, Bran dreams that he's a... Well, he talks about it briefly, but you don't actually...
Well, Rickon, if you remember, like, from the very first season, he has the same dream that Bran does about their dad dying.
Right.
So he might have a little bit of it, too.
Oh, yeah.
They might all have it.
Yeah. And they just don't know how to harness it.
Can you imagine?
And the only reason that Bran can harness it because he fell and hit his noggin, and now he's...
And he has nothing else to do with his time except try to warg into animals.
Yeah, because he can't move his real legs.
Can you imagine what would happen if Sansa can warg into a dragon?
Oh, my God. Be a reign of terror.
Where's that fan fiction? Somebody write that up, where she finally gets all the justice that's coming to her.
Right.
Yeah, because she's getting... it's not fun for her. Looked like she had bruises all over her, and
yeah, she's getting...
Obviously,
she's getting abused, which kind of is kind of a downer. Well, it's definitely a downer, but you would expect... Or we were hoping that she'd still be kind of like up here, even though what happened to her last episode, but they've definitely knocked her down a few pegs with it. But she's still kind of like trying to maintain what power she has, and she tries to...
She was maintaining a little bit when she was talking to Ramsay, and, you know... Because I was surprised she even talked to him like that.
I think it's showing that she's braver than we think she is.
Well, she did it to Joffrey upon occasion, too.
Yeah.
She just... I guess she's just used to it at this point. Like, before she was just, like, timid and afraid for her life, and I'm not entirely sure if she... I think at this point she's like, well, what do I have to lose at this point?
Right. Yeah. Every night she's getting abused, and she has no one to help her.
Now the nights are going to be even longer.
Yeah. Yeah, so much more abuse then.
Yeah, because Ramsay only abuses by night.
Right, exactly.
Nice during the day.
Hi, how's it going? The sun's going down.
Yeah, so the old lady got flayed.
The old lady got flayed, and we were wondering if there was multiple people that upon the watching, I think they just flayed her.
Yeah.
Or he just flayed her. Yeah. He does all the flaying himself, so
he's very hands-on DIY, you know.
Yeah, which is something you look for in a good leader,
right?
Don't
do in the North.
Yeah, don't do a job that you wouldn't, or don't have somebody else do a job you wouldn't do yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
The candle idea was not such a good idea.
No.
First of all,
good intentions, but probably not thought out.
Right.
Bran, yeah, and she's just staring at the tower. Is that what she does all day? Stare at the tower.
Probably.
Stare at the tower.
That's her oath.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. That's a small candle. How far away is she that she's going to be able to see it?
Well, if you think about it, there's really almost no light pollution because there's not electricity. So you actually, like in complete darkness, you can see a candle from really far away.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Mike.
Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Real Dr. Daffron.
Mike DeGrasse Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah, but Reek totally threw her under the bus, which we were hoping wouldn't be the case.
So do you think he was going up there to light it, and he didn't know that Ramsay was up there?
No, it seems like...
And then he was like, oh, crap, he's up here. I have this candle. I guess... I don't know how to lie. Sansa said that...
Yeah,
no, it seems like he didn't hesitate at all to run straight to Ramsay.
Yeah, and they just made it seem like he was going up the tower, but he was really... I don't think that Ramsay's in the broken tower. Just the way they shot it made it seem like that's where he was going.
Oh, you know, okay. I was thinking he was in the tower.
Yeah, I did at first too, but then it was just like, no, that doesn't make sense because it's broken. And if there was any light showing in there, Brienne would have been there already. So
Yeah, but I don't know. As long as the candle's not in the window, right?
I guess, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was just light a
in the
candle
tower?
in the tower.
Okay. That would be awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
She just came in because, yeah. And what if somebody uses that tower? Because she just says the tallest tower. Does she know that tower is like the broken tower?
Yeah,
Someone could have just, some kids could have went in there to like, read some comic book magazines.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, all the comic book magazines are
Yeah,
floating around
about
Winterfell.
Valeria and the dragons and...
Yeah.
And then, they light some candles and Brienne's off. Oh, God! And she's in trouble. Shows up. Oh. Sorry.
She is in trouble, though.
Yeah.
So.
We need those kids to get up there with those comic books.
I don't know what she's going to expect to do all by herself, though.
Well, she is teaching, I can't think of his name.
Podrick?
Podrick.
Oh, yeah, Podrick's gonna all of a sudden be some big badass.
He might.
He's going to kill Ramsay single-handedly.
He might be awkward about it, but he might.
Yeah, because she kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, so not a lot of sneaking around going her way. So.
Yeah, she's not... I wouldn't expect stealth from her.
Yeah, I just wonder what Ramsay's going to do to Sansa now. Because, first of all, she's trying to leave.
I think he's basically doing everything that he can do to her, short of, like, actual physical torture.
Yeah, but even her calling him a bastard twice, essentially twice in the same conversation. He didn't seem too pleased about that either, so...
Right. And then he tells her about Jon being Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what's going to, like... what kind of homecoming is he going to be in for when he gets back with...
And if he comes back with all the wildlings and, yeah.
If he comes back with all the wildlings, that should be different because he should have more people than the Night's Watch at that point if they're going to... If it's going to go there.
What, like 60,000 people, didn't they say? Or
something like that.
If, everybody would come along... Yeah, if he does come back by himself, awkward.
Hey, what'd you guys do to this place while I was gone? Well, no more Taco Tuesdays. What? This is bullshit.
We love Taco Tuesdays.
I'm breaking my vows. I'm going to Winterfell.
When I come back, Taco Tuesdays better be reinstated.
Yeah, but no.
We still got Pizza Fridays? Pizza Friday? Yeah, oh yeah, Pizza Friday's still on. Definitely Pizza Friday.
I'm worried about all the Starks still, because they always get the shitty end of the stick, so when Jon gets back, I'm sure it's not going to be pretty.
Yes.
Because everybody there, for the most part, was against Jon leaving.
Well, maybe Jon will live forever, because he's still Jon Snow. But if he did choose to be Jon Stark. Then he'd die immediately. They would just
right.
The king would be like, oh yeah, and send him a letter, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm Jon Stark.
Too many Starks.
Too many Starks.
Although, to be fair, we've only really lost 2 Starks.
Only 2?
Yeah.
3?
Well, yeah, if you count Catelyn.
Yeah. And then the
Yeah,
wife.
why wouldn't she be?
What about the wife of Rob's wife?
Yeah, they got married.
They got married, so she was a Stark.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about her.
And the baby.
That doesn't count.
Okay. I'm not getting in this conversation with you.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Well, now the show's awkward. No, you're right. You're right. I was just thinking of actual point of view type characters.
Don't go back on what you said. We know what you were saying.
There's your outrage for the season.
All right.
I guess, they did name him Eddard, so what else was going to happen?
Right.
We should name him Ned after your father. Don't do that.
We shall just change our names. Then they would live forever.
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's all change our name to Aegon. He at least died of old age.
Egg. Yeah.
Or Aemon, right.
Aemon,
Yeah.
yeah, not Aegon.
Not Aegon.
He was just looking for some eggs. He was just an old guy dreaming about eggs.
He was, yeah.
He's like,
He loves
mother's looking for you,
eggs.
egg.
Yeah.
And he's looking from the pantry for eggs because they want some breakfast.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Where else are you
I
going to
thought
look?
that was weird that he was dreaming about eggs. He must have really liked eggs.
Sure, why not?
Must have been a chicken farmer.
Yeah.
Okay. so, I don't know how to transition from that into anything.
Too many eggs.
So we got, if we're going to talk about Winterfell, we can talk about what's going on just outside Winterfell. Stannis is losing his men and resources to the cold. Davos wants to turn back to Castle Black.
And they also lost about 500 men that were just being paid. So they just like ran off in the night.
He lost some mercenaries. So
It's looking worse and worse for him.
Can Stannis survive? Tune in next week. So hopefully he'll have enough people to actually take Winterfell.
Yeah, but he got some interesting advice from Melissandre.
Yeah.
Yeah, she turned down his advances for a little shmush mush.
Yeah, what?
And what?
Yeah. No, what's smush mush?
For a little doing it?
Oh, I thought that was like some board game that they
Smush
played.
mush.
We'll play a round of smush mush.
You guys want to play some smush mush tonight?
Now we have to make a game called Smush Mush.
Maybe we should. I like it.
All right.
So, yeah, she turns down his advances and also wants to kill his daughter.
Well, not kill. Sacrifice to the Red God.
Yeah.
Oh, because there's a difference.
Then have another little baby demon.
If that's what
Maybe.
they do.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't
think it is.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah. You'd probably have to give her some smush mush again for her baby demon.
Right. I think that is, yeah. I think that's what happened.
Okay.
You
It was.
You need Shmush Mush and, you've seen
Maybe
it
they
more
have to do
recently.
both. Right?
Who'd they get blood from to... Because you've seen the episode more recently than I have.
I think I got to that one.
Did they have
They
any?
did have shmush mush.
Right.
And I don't know if they
I don't think they had
killed
any,
anybody or not.
Yeah, I don't think they had any blood or anything.
I don't think they did. I don't think that, yeah.
You just need Shmush Mush
Mm-hmm.
to birth the Shadow Demon.
Just in King Smush Mush.
Right. Oh, what if she had Shmush Mush with Jon Snow?
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't know. She had an interest in him.
Yeah.
I don't know if... I don't know.
Maybe she just had an interest in him and it was just not instantly hot.
That's possible.
Melissandre, I do know something.
Nowhere to put the pointy end.
You're right, I don't know nothing. I need you to teach me a lesson.
God.
A lesson all night.
So speaking...
Because the night is dark and full of semen.
Oh, that's awful.
Show you my load of light.
So-
All right, I'm out.
all right, well, now that Sarah's out, we can go on to Dorne. Mike, you got to see boobs.
Boom shakalaka. I think the director liked that way more than I did. Like, there was like 5 panning down of her,
Yeah.
like, in a row. I'm like the last one I thought was really awkward. I'm like, again? Like, you just showed that. But I'm okay with it. Don't get me wrong.
So, wait, I don't like.
I'm like,
I thought
thanks.
Mike's starting to draw a line in the sand.
Too many
Never thought
boobs.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Yep. Did you guys say something about that last week, that her spear has poison in it?
Tim might have said something about it. I don't know.
I don't.
If you didn't, I might have heard it from somebody else or something. But
That's
I remember
possible.
that, and I thought you said something about it.
Oberyn's spear was poisoned, so that's
Yeah,
why
I
the
think-
mountain is dying, or was dying, or whatever.
Yeah, we still don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything there for a while. But yeah, they fight with poison spears.
I've been heard that from something else. Then that her spear too is supposed to be that way. So you know, I don't know. Then yep.
She was getting all flirty with him, though. And I think it was because the poison needed something to activate it, and his pulse pulse, pounding heartbeat or whatever.
Oh,
maybe put that into effect a little bit faster than it would have normally.
Well, then why bother giving him the antidote?
Oh, she just wanted to hear that she was beautiful.
Oh,
I
well, seems extreme.
She just messed up.
She has daddy issues,
They might get together though, because they're both messed up.
Kind of crazy.
So
yeah.
I think that could be some good shmush there.
Bronn is pretty awesome,
and he has a great voice.
He has a great voice.
I tasted the Danish man's wife.
You don't have a bad voice either.
Thank you.
Don't overdo it. But Jaime gets to talk to Marcella, and it's funny. She's talking about Trystane, and as she's talking, it's like, wow, she sounds a lot like Sansa did about Joffrey before when they first got to King's Landing. I love him, and we're gonna get married.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have his babies.
We're going to have a bunch of blonde babies.
We have lots of babies because we're going to do it all the time. Shmush, shmush, nonstop because I love him so much.
That's more than I need to know. I am your uncle. I am your uncle daddy.
Yeah, I'm your uncle. I'm your dad.
But we also find out that she's been there for years. Mm-hmm. So that's we don't have a good concept of how much time is actually passing in the show between seasons, but Tyrion sends her off there in season 2 or in season 5, and she's been there for quite some time, apparently. So I'm just wondering how long certain people were in certain situations. Like, how long was Sansa in King's Landing getting, tortured by Joffrey, basically? Mm-hmm. And how long was their excursion up to Craster's for the Night's Watch? And how long was Jon with the Wildlings?
Yeah, true.
You don't get a lot of... Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really do anything at all to tell you time period, how much time has passed. They don't focus on that almost at all.
Right. Well, the seasons are different, and so maybe the way time passes is different too. Maybe a year there isn't necessarily what a year in our world would be, in the real world would be. So maybe it's less time.
Maybe maybe they age faster.
Maybe.
Maybe they age in dog years.
Oh, yeah.
Winter really is only 3 months. This is all happening.
They're like fruit flies.
Yeah. This is all happening within a span of a year. We're only 6 months into the year, and we've already been through 4 kings, or however many kings.
That'd be a long look back of the year when the TV shows start coming on, top 5,000 moments of the year. Because you're like top 10 or top 100, but
no, 5,000.
TMZ counts down their favorite moments of all the royal weddings.
Can you believe it? The Red Wedding. Do you remember that?
Robb Stark won't because he's dead. Uh-oh.
Was there a baby in there? Oh, man. Westeros is crazy. You gotta watch your back in this game.
Oh my God.
It's amazing how easy that voice is to do. Somebody gets paid a lot of money to do that every day, Mike. Yep. We're doing it right now for free.
That's right, in Game of Thrones. That's right, I'm his buddy. Ooh, yeah. Have you ever watched Parks and Rec? They have 2 guys on there that are the radio DJs are just like that. It's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I'm the douche. That's one of the guys' names. Anyway, back to the podcast now. Hey.
So I guess the only thing we have left to talk about is what's going on in Marine.
In Marine, oh my God. I have to say, does anybody else think their trip there, their journey there was just almost seems a little too convenient or quick, or I don't know. I'm just okay.
I think
you got another situation. You just easily got out of another situation.
I'm starting to think that they were starting to realize we need to progress this storyline.
That's what I'm hoping. Is that they're pressed for time.
It's Jorah's first fight as as a pit fighter is going to be in front of Daenerys.
Right?
Well,
I'm like,
how convenient.
come on. But whatever. I'm okay with it just because I'm like, yay, moving on.
I'm okay with it too because Tyrion and Daenerys finally meet up, and I'm still waiting for that to happen in the books. So.
But it almost seems like a waste of time to even have them, I don't know, captured by a slave ship and stuff like that.
Well, they needed a way to get there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Took less time.
Need some way to get her in because she probably wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
accepted Jorah just showing up at her doorstep.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so she sees a George. She's like, get him out of my sight. And then Tyrion comes up and like, I'm your gift. And she's like, yes, I'm going to rule the world because I have a lucky dwarf cock.
everybody needs a leprechaun. Sarah has one.
Oh,
That's it. She's going to rule the world now. Like, everything's going to go, you'll see, everything's going to go great the next, like, couple episodes for Daenerys because she has a dwarf cock on her side. Mm-hmm. And if it's not, she'll just rub his head, rub his other head.
Well, we'll have to see because we'll need to know, or she'll need to figure out whether or not she can trust anybody because, I mean, we don't have Varys there to vouch for anybody either. Because that might be the big selling point. He wasn't really spying for the Lannisters. He was spying for Varys.
Mm-hmm.
And Varys, this entire time, has been working to get a Targaryen back on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
So where the fuck is Varys?
Yeah. I mean, it has to know, it has to be around. I mean, had to be heading that way, I would think.
Well, that's where they were going. So,
right?
Yeah, imagine he's probably still on his way there, right?
But maybe not. He doesn't, unless if he doesn't necessarily know who kidnapped him.
Right, yeah, he doesn't know where Tyrion is.
He has no idea. He might be like, oh, shit, he's gone. All right, back to King's Landing.
Well, he can't.
But he's not in King's Landing.
Yeah, I don't think he can go back to King's Landing.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, maybe now.
Yeah.
Because Cersei... But
Cersei's
he doesn't know
locked
that
up,
either.
But he doesn't know that either.
Oh,
so
he knows
everything. I'm assuming
Mm-hmm.
at this point he's trying to make his way to Daenerys as well. So maybe everybody will show up at the same time, and it'll be like, "What? You're here? You're here! Hey!"
Whoa! I can't believe it! Oh, Daenerys was about to chop the head off of Tyrion, and look who shows up! It's Varys.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. They're going to have to make some more chairs because there's probably not going to be enough chairs for everybody.
Yep. So, yeah, and old Mr. Handsome and Daenerys. And your little dreamboat.
Mm-hmm. He's cute. He's a cutie.
He has a cute butt.
I thought you were going to have a freak out because Daenerys did the whole sheet thing again while she was in bed.
I definitely noticed it. and I really thought it was really obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It almost seemed like they should have did a retake. Because she obviously knows she's supposed to cover up. Mm-hmm. And I think it was kind of an accident. It almost seemed like it was an accident that her, bet she was about to go down. And she's like, okay. I don't want to retake this.
It's like
I got stuff to do.
It's like she knew there was a camera there. What?
Yeah, they're just taping this all incognito. They have no idea this is happening.
Well, no, what Mike is
I know what you're saying.
I get what you're saying too. I just think it's funny.
She has to stay in character.
Yeah.
I mean, she needs to be a method actor like Mike is.
Right.
Listen to How Should I Bro podcast.
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know the Mike Daffron situation, Mike Daffron, in quotation marks, guest starred on the latest episode of How Should I Bro, which came out this week. Which is our health and fitness podcast with Sam Richardson. So if you aren't subscribing to that, subscribe to that.
You got time, listen to both.
Yeah.
Do it. You'll like it.
What's a couple of 45 minutes out of your life?
Speaking of awkward, did it seem awkward when Sam was like, oh, I'm just a bit woozy, and then slowly and then falls over? I almost felt like there should be some canned laughter right there in that scene. Because it almost seemed like a joke the way he said it. Like, I don't know.
Just a little bit woozy.
For me, I just took it a little bit different. Like,
It was.
Have you been repeatedly punched in the face before? Because that might be what happens.
I'm sure. I'm not saying that like wouldn't happen. It just seemed weird.
Was it
the way
like slapstick to you?
Yeah, kind of. I thought so.
Yeah. It was kind of funny. I thought it was more funny that she was taking care of him and he was obviously sick, and then she just jumps him.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. And then, she's like, he's like, oh! And she's like,
Am I hurting you?
No, I'm totally okay. Like, that is complete reality right there. All right?
Yeah.
Every man be like, no, I'm great. Oh, are you sure? Totally. Yep. Yep. Well, he'll battle through it.
He's got to have a real headache, and he's still managing to. Like, so as their relationship progresses in the future, she's not tonight. I have a headache. I got punched in the fucking head.
Yep.
Give me your bullshit, Gilly.
Yeah, I guess Sam's going to be like that.
Well, now they're like pretty much in a relationship.
Yeah,
he's change. You have sex, then
yeah, he's got the
Now it's
taste
all
now.
over.
Yeah. See Sam getting all crazy. That's what happens in Game of Thrones. Like, that's why
he's got the pink madness.
Had a taste of a wildling. Now I'm all wild.
Well, that's the. So speaking of that, speaking of wildling, speaking of Gilly, Aemon, before he dies, warns her to get herself and the baby south before it's too late. I'm wondering how much of that was because of winter coming and the White Walkers, or how much of that is because he knew that with Jon going and him dying, that the Night's Watch is not safe.
I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, that's definitely possible for sure. Almost seems a little more likely, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Sounds good to me.
I know Lady Olenna, I guess, we didn't talk about like her, I guess. She was going to cut off the crops and starve everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think she changed her mind, or do you think she's not going to do that because now that Cersei's locked up, maybe she won't have to do that?
I think a lot of that
they can work it out.
I think a lot of that will depend on what happens. I think a lot of that excuse me. I think a lot of what happens will depend on what happens with Marjorie. So if Marjorie...
Yeah, because if they confess, maybe there's mercy, but I don't know what that mercy is.
Yeah, they were mentioning the mother's mercy, but it's different depending on the crime.
Yeah, it still sounds like there's going to be punishment of some kind.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to... I actually know what one of the punishments are going to be from the books, but I won't spoil.
No, tell us.
No, don't.
I
want to know.
No.
I won't. You'll find out. You're going to find out. I mean, there's only 3 episodes left. So
you can tell her later. Don't tell me.
I might, but I won't.
Spoiling.
Well, I might.
You should tell me.
We'll see. But if you followed anything about the production of Game of Thrones, you know what it's going to be already. But if you don't follow like anything regarding the production of this season of Game of Thrones, then you probably won't know.
I do not watch any production.
And you don't read any articles on that
Nope.
pop up on Facebook?
Nope.
Okay.
Yep. I try to do everything I can to not. I mean, I don't even like typing in Game of Thrones into Google because that can be dangerous.
That's a good thing. The one thing I will say is that the punishment is the most expensive scene that they've ever had to shoot.
Really?
Yep.
I thought the Hall of Faces was like one of the most expensive when they when Arya was going down to the Hall of Faces.
Did they say that? Did we read that?
I heard that somewhere that it was a really expensive scene to shoot and to produce.
Or the one in Valeria. They said that was pretty difficult and took a lot of people.
It takes like $1 million to make an episode or something
Crazy.
like that.
Wow.
But when it happens, which will probably be, let's see, we just did episode 7. I suspect it'll be episode 9
Okay.
where this happens, because all the big stuff usually happens the episode before.
All right.
So that's where we'll leave it.
Big stuff.
And we will. So you have something to look forward to in 2 shows from now, which hopefully, because around this time they usually like skip a week. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping they don't skip a week.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they're going to be on this week as a Memorial Day weekend.
Right.
Because I know I thought that's when they did it like other times.
Yeah, you may be right. Or maybe they don't have.
So maybe they're not going to. I don't know. Be nice.
I guess maybe with HBO Now, like that's changed the game. Mm-hmm. So people are expecting it.
Yeah.
And then the first 5 episodes leaked already. So it's like right before the show started, or right before the season started up. So yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, hopefully we don't have a pause in the show with only a few episodes left.
Mm-hmm. We got enough pause around here with all these cats.
Yep. Well, if you want,
that's right. See what I did there? Oh man!
So if you want to donate to the Watchers on the Couch Fund, so we can record in a actual studio that doesn't have cats in it.
No promises.
I like the cats.
No, they're fine. All right. Well, that's enough for this week. This was Watchers on the Couch. I'm Tim Pickerel.
I'm Sarah Hedrick.
Well, I'm Mike Devron.
And now our watch is ended. Until next week. Welcome back. Okay. Let's try that again.
I know.
But apparently Sam's...
I slay all the broads in the brothels. That's why I call my wiener the broadsword.
Oh.